Hi Libra, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. My name is Kayleigh. This is your general reading for the week ahead. I'm reading this for the 15th to the 21st of March, but if you find it at a different date, then Spirit works in a funny way and you get the message that you're supposed to hear. So it's for the week ahead when you're watching this. All the normal housekeeping stuff to do with decks and stuff is all down below. I'm at a slightly different angle this week. I'm trying something new because I'm trying to alter how I use this room a little bit. I have another use that I need to have out of it now. So I'm just trying to see if this angle works. So it might change again next week. But I thought it was really nice because actually you can see part of my table. So I'm going to lay the cards here so you can at least maybe not get full view of them, but at least you can see what I'm working with when I'm reading. So let's see what we've got for you, Libra. What have we got for Libra for this week coming, please? What have we got for Libra for this week coming? So we have the Hanged Man. So yeah, there's not a lot of motion this week. If you're here to find out when something's going to happen, it's not like something that you need to happen right now. It's not actually going to happen right this moment. It's not going to happen this week. And what I am getting with the Hanged Man is, though, it's not happening right now because it's not the right time. And when it does happen, you'll realise why it hasn't happened yet. There's a change of perspective that needs to. Also, if you're acting the martyr, time for that to stop, Libra. But right now, it's a energy of lack of movement, really. Surrendering. The more you fight it, the harder it's going to be. It's a bit like those tangled vines that they get stuck in the first Harry Potter. The more you fight it, the more it's going to keep you where you are. As soon as you release and surrender that you can't control it, you fall through and it lets you go. You can move forward. So it's very much allowing yourself to surrender at this time. Realize that you cannot control everything. You cannot control the outcome right now. And the sooner you surrender up to the universe and just let it deal with it, the more likely it's to come through. I don't know if somebody works with the Morrigan, but I think maybe get some guidance from the Morrigan if you work with that deity. The Eight of Wands, news coming in though. There is news coming in. It is a movement forward. I don't think it's directly related to this situation, but there are messages coming in and out which will make you realise towards the end of the week why you can't control it and why you need to wait right now. You're being asked to have strength to surrender up to it, basically. Messages are coming back and forth that will help you realise why. It's going to take all your might not to bite back is what I was actually going to say, but you are really going to, like, your first reaction is to bite back at something. Do not do that. It's time for passivity. Do not act. So I don't know if this is to do with like arguing with someone. Do not answer them back right now. They are going to be quite quick to react, and your first instinct is going to be to bite back. It's going to take all your strength not to bite back, but please don't bite back this week, Libra. You may have helped them out in the past and it may be like, well, it's my time. How can you be so selfish? But I don't know why they're acting out. I'm getting that they're acting out, lashing out because they need help. But yeah, there's a limit, right? Where somebody takes all the time and somebody gives all the time. So I don't know if that's a situation within it. 10 of Pentacles though. Financially, materially, even within family, if this is... You're not going to feel alone this week. You're going to have everything you need to thrive this week and possibly have some extra to hand over. So it might be that somebody's coming asking you for help and you are very much capable of giving them their help. But it's almost like you've got to the point where you're like, do you know what? I can help you till the cows come home, but you're not helping yourself right now. And I kind of feel like that's it. Like you cannot help them. And that's kind of why you've got to step back from the situation possibly and let it go, not act. Because... And it's a really hard thing to not act, but they're not helping themselves. You cannot fix them. They have to fix themselves. You can only give them the tools. And I think you've given them the tools enough. Although you are materially, financially able to help them, they're not helping themselves. They keep coming to you for more money is what I'm getting. They keep coming to get more money, borrowing more money from you. And yes, you can do it. And they even go, well, you've got spare. You can afford to help me. Yes, I can afford to help you. That doesn't mean for your highest good that's why I should do that. At this point in time, I've helped you enough already. There comes a point where they're taking and taking and taking, but they're not giving anything back. And I don't just mean materially giving you the money back, because that may be the situation. what you want back from them isn't money. What you want to see is them making progress on healing and fixing themselves. And they're not doing that right now, Libra. And the fact that they keep coming for more money, while that money's available to them, they're not sorting their own finances out, and they're not learning to stand on their own 2 feet. So in this situation, doing nothing, although it's the hardest thing to do, is what you need to do. You need to withdraw that from them. They're going to lash out at you because the way they see it, they've got themselves in that mess and you were their last lifeline. But how many times have they done this to you, Libra? Because I'm getting this is like the 5th, 6th time that they keep doing it. They're not learning. And it is going to be so hard. And they're not going to see it as you doing them a favour right now. But once this all comes round again, they're going to have a change of perspective and realise that you did it to help them grow. Because right now, they are not helping themselves at all. Yeah, they're going to be quite lash out. They're going to lash out. If you still want to help them, but without actually financially helping them, and I get that you're financially helping them because you're like, well, if you borrow it from me, there isn't a definitive time scale or a schedule that you have to pay it back by. You're not gaining interest, and I get how you're trying to help them that way. But you need to stop doing that because they're now using you as a bank and they're not paying back to you. So if that's the case with finances, if this is to do with something else, like you're always the one that, you know, they call on to pick the kids up all the time, but it's not an agreement that you kind of made. It's kind of like, well, you're the last person. I can't call anybody out. There is no one else. And then because that situation happened and they could always rely on you, you've now become the constant one. Do you know what I mean? It's gone beyond the agreement of helping, and now they are just using you to maintain them, if you see what I mean. They're not... it's kind of expected rather than appreciated now. So that kind of needs to stop. But yeah, you just need to guide them. If you still want to help them, then by all means go, do you know what? I cannot help you anymore. I cannot help you with this financially anymore. And they may go, well, you can afford it. You've got loads of money. Go, you don't know my financial ins and outs. And even if I can, I'm choosing not to on this occasion because I've helped you X many times already. What I can do is send you to Step First or any of the debt consolidation places if it's to do with money. If it's childcare issues, just go, that's fine. Here's a childminder that can help you. Or here's an after school club that can help. Whatever it is, just signpost them to somewhere else where they can get the support. Because I think once it starts to actually cost them something, in the sense that, and I don't mean that like they need to be punished. There has to be a cost to it to be punished. It's not that at the moment there is no mutual energy exchange between the two of you. So like I said, if you've lent them money to get them out of a pickle, but they keep getting themselves back in that pickle and you keep supplying more money, they're not learning. So they need to realise that that's off, and maybe they need to then go to a debt consolidation service, to whether that's the Citizens Advice Bureau, Step Change, or those sorts of... There are so many out there to help people. That's within the UK. I'm sure there's some in other countries. Signpost them to where they can get other help, because you can't help them anymore. You've given them the tools that were available to you, and they kind of exhausted what your support and nurturing environment can give them. So clearly they're not learning the lesson through you. So maybe now it's time that they do gain a little bit of interest, or have repercussions if they don't make repayments and sort themselves out. Because at the end of the day, they are an adult. So it's not your job to keep bailing them out. At some point, they have to be an adult and be accountable for their own decisions and actions. And as you've been benevolent enough, do you know what I mean? You've helped them enough. And I know it's within you to want to balance and fix everything. But in this situation, you cannot fix everything for them, because they have to do it themselves. They have to stand on their own 2 feet at some point. So by all means, if you want to help, direct them to somewhere they can get help, an organisation they can get the help to step themselves up. It is not your job to do it. You are actually becoming overburdened yourself emotionally. The load and the taxation of actually helping them and supporting them, and them not helping themselves. The energetic healing is coming from you, not them. They are not dealing with it. So it's not on you to carry their burdens. They are grown-ups. They need to build their own nest. Do you know what I mean? They have to build themselves up. And they've got to stop making these rash decisions that have got them to this position. Do you know what I mean? They've got to change how they behave, the actions that they take. They can't blame other people and their environment for where they're at. At some point, they have to take responsibility. You can have the worst stuff in the world happen to you. It's how you react to it that matters, not what happened to you. And at this point in time, their actions have got them in this position, and they're not even acknowledging and taking responsibility enough to get themselves back out of it again and improve it. They're letting someone else do it for them, so they're not learning. So they need to do that. And what you're being called to do is to do nothing effectively. Don't help them. By all means, give them direction to where they can get help. Yes, you are in a position to help them materially, financially, emotionally, energetically. That doesn't mean you should, because in this situation, you're being called not to help them. As hard as that is, and I don't like saying don't help them, but it's the call to be kind. They need to step up and be an adult, be a grown-up. And they're not doing that right now. It's their responsibility. They have to learn that if they don't step up, there are consequences. And what you've been doing is saving them from those consequences, so they've never had to really kind of grow up effectively. So anyway, I hope that has been of some help for you, Libra. Hopefully I'll see you again next week. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.